Alright, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to another video here on the channel, and today, honestly, I never really expected for this whole thing to kind of really happen. I didn't really plan any sort of video around, I guess, the real topic of the video here. So unfortunately, yesterday, Technoblade, a extremely popular Minecraft YouTuber, came out and announced that he had been diagnosed with cancer. It's tragic, right? Like, it's not something really that I wanted to make some sort of standalone video on, considering the fact that, well, it's just depressing and it's not something that really needs a video made about it and everything. But unfortunately, some stuff happened on Twitter last night that really kind of sparked this video being made. I'm gonna go ahead and preface everything here by saying, of course, this video is not monetized. I don't really believe that monetizing a video like this is the appropriate thing to do, considering the subject matter, considering what we're talking about. I feel like somebody announcing that they had cancer, like, 3 hours ago, basically, it's probably been longer than that, but like 3 hours ago, pretty much today, right, isn't really something worth monetizing. I can lose out on a video worth of revenue. I don't really give a shit. And I'm also gonna go ahead and show you guys that this video will have a charity kind of implemented with it. So I've been raising money for the American Cancer Society for a few months on a couple dozen videos. And I really encourage you, if ever, to really donate this time, considering the circumstances, considering everything going on. I would love to see some money actually be raised and something good kind of come out of everything here, in honor of Technoblade and, of course, everyone else who's dealing with cancer. Cancer fucking sucks, man, but the reason that I'm making this video for real is kind of the reaction around this entire news and how it's kind of transformed how people will behave in order to, pump out content around it. Now, obviously, I understand, I'm making a video talking about these people making videos about this subject. I get that, and you can criticize me for that if you think that it's wrong or whatever, I understand that, that's fine, but it's kind of insane what exactly happened here. So, unfortunately, Technoblade made this announcement, and virtually within hours, people were pumping content out about it. Now, there's been multiple videos that I've seen that are absolutely just insane. Like, it just makes me wonder where people's minds really are when this is all kind of going down. There's people who, within hours of this entire thing getting announced, ran to get, Twitch clips of people talking about this whole thing, talking about the diagnosis, so that they could fucking upload it back on YouTube, throw Technoblade in the title, in the thumbnail, in the description, in the tags, basically making a massive video about it where they steal someone else's reaction to the news off of Twitch and upload it for themselves. It's fucking absurd that this is something that people are doing. I mean, imagine you get on your account and you type out the title, Dream SMP React to Technoblade Getting Cancer. Like, imagine that being something you fucking woke up and did today, right? I feel bad enough, honestly, talking about everything that's going on as is right here, but I feel like this is something that really should be discussed in the greater scheme of things. People are really out here making this shit, and once again, they're not even, like, actually, at least, formulating their own thoughts on it. They're not actually explaining anything. They're not making informative videos. Once again, there's people who are literally just going to Twitch, going to a streamer, ripping a fucking clip of them talking about how sad it is or whatever, how bad they feel, or, like, their personal experiences with Technoblade and things like that, and they fucking throw it up on their account to get a quick, couple thousand, if not tens of thousands of views. Now, this, obviously, I shouldn't have to explain to you why this is absolutely disgusting, but to kind of cover something else massive that happened, and this actually involved me, okay, because I noticed something about this. So you may or may not know the YouTuber Jadyn, okay? They make, pretty much similar videos to me, I can't even lie, just, gameplay commentary, I guess that's what you call it or whatever here. Well, Jadyn uploaded a video called I Feel Awful for Technoblade, okay? And you can see this right here, this is the video as it pops up on mobile and everything, so you can see that thumbnail, got Technoblade all over it, Technoblade's character and everything, his Minecraft skin, the word cancer, which, Jesus Christ, man. The video is very clearly meant to capitalize on the fact that Technoblade announced his cancer diagnosis. There's no way around it. Technoblade's in the fucking title. It's one of these, and I mean, I do this too, you know, the titling and stuff, that I call these commentary titles, you know, the I feel awful for Technoblade. What this does is it's a leading statement almost. What it does is, you know, you read that and you're like, oh, well, why do they feel awful for Technoblade? Did something happen? You click on the fucking video and you already lost the game, right? There it is. Technoblade in the thumbnail. It goes further than this, okay? It's not even just, you know, about garnering views off the title and thumbnail, which would be like classic stuff. Jadyn went as far as to write a clickbait description that spams, you know, Technoblade, charity, cancer, support, trending on Twitter, basically full of buzzwords, chocked full of these buzzwords that are meant to show up when you search these things so it can generate extra clicks for the video. Now this is fucking scummy, and technically I believe it's against the terms of service of YouTube to do things like this because it's considered spamming metadata, but so Technoblade has cancer. Now I just want to say that I will be donating money made from this video to charity. Now as you guys know, Technoblade has been gone for the last few months. People have been wondering what happened to Technoblade. Well, today Technoblade uploaded a new video and he explained where he has been, and that's when I found out that, you know, Technoblade reveals he has cancer, which I just feel bad for Technoblade. Technoblade doesn't deserve this. Now, one thing that I find awful is people on Twitter and YouTube have been celebrating Technoblade getting cancer, and I just don't understand why people would do this. You know, they actually waste their time doing this. Now, thankfully, most people supported Technoblade, and Techno support started trending on Twitter, and it was nice to see that people came together and supported Technoblade, so this is the Technoblade situation explained. Follow my Twitter link. Hashtag Technoblade, hashtag awful, hashtag drama. This is fucked, okay? There's no way around it. This is fucking disgusting, okay? This guy is diagnosed with cancer, and within hours, you have typed a 5-paragraph essay meant to chock full of fucking metadata so you can get extra clicks on your video, okay? And what's super ironic about it is shortly before uploading this YouTube video, Jadyn actually used their more private, I guess, or personal, I should say, Twitter account to shit on the people who were, you know, spamming out content, basically trying to capitalize on the situation. These channels are already milking the Technoblade situation, which, yeah, they are, okay? That's not a false statement. These channels very clearly were, you know, within a few hours of the diagnosis, you got a video out of basically stealing people's content to fucking react to a topic at hand here. That's so sad. Jadyn was not in the wrong, but then, of course, you know, you turn around and upload a video doing the same exact fucking thing, people are going to go ahead and say something about that, so that's exactly what happened. The commentary community started kind of jumping on Jadyn's ass over this one, and roasting Jadyn for this whole situation, which once again is pretty understandable, but then it came down to a tweet, really, that kind of started this whole situation between me and Jadyn over this. Haters gonna hate. Very stupid tweet, I know, okay? Not a ridiculous tweet, you know, when it comes to, like, offensiveness or like anything like that, but to just blatantly shrug off people having a very good point about what you're saying as, well, you know, haters are gonna hate me, you know, I'm just being a fucking hypocrite and making a complete fool of myself, going back on my word within hours to get YouTube views and money and clicks. Yeah, let's just shrug it all off as hate, right? You know, so that's when I kind of jump into things here, okay? And I start kind of directly talking to Jadyn publicly on Twitter about everything that started to fucking unfold. And it fell apart from here, man. So what happened was Jadyn tried to lie, okay? Jadyn tried to lie about me in order to, I guess, fucking own me or something. I'm not sure, but so this is perfectly okay. You can monetize and talk about a killer, but me reporting what's going on with Technoblade and the toxicity surrounding it is off limits. What's morally fine then, because murder and ARP allegations seem to be fair game. Okay, first and foremost, I'm not sure how talking about a news story that's been public for months and has been unfolding for months is the same as you taking a man's cancer diagnosis and within hours, you know, completely rewriting your own statements with new bullshit. But if that's the equivalence we're gonna make here, then I guess, I don't know. But you seem to not understand that, you know, it's not about the fact that you merely brought the situation up in a video or anything like that. It's the fact that you literally fucking clickbaited Technoblade getting cancer, spammed metadata in the title and in the fucking description of the video, knowing that all you were trying to do is get more clicks on your video so you can get more attention for it. After you had just shit on people for doing this, and then you turn around and I guess your excuse for it being okay is, I'm gonna donate the ad revenue to charity. Well, let me go ahead and break this point down before we even advance any further into the honestly mental breakdown that unfolded on Twitter. Number one, of course, this completely depends on the fact that you have to trust Jadyn, okay? You just have to trust that, Jadyn's gonna donate this money, this ad revenue to charity. There's no legitimate proof, you know what I'm saying? Maybe a screenshot of a donation gets sent, but you never know if it's actually the full amount on the fucking video itself that it made. And after what kind of happened afterwards, I'm going to assume that donating the revenue was probably never going to happen. And then number two, YouTube has a built-in fundraising system that I've been using for months, along with other creators. Actually, I've been using this for fucking years. Pretty much ever since it's been available, I've been using this. And in fact, speaking of raising money for cancer, this is something that people do with the YouTube giving feature. I have my own, the American Cancer Society, which is being displayed alongside this video, and as of me recording this, 37 other videos that I've made. So if this was really about, getting money donated to charity, why wouldn't you just create a YouTube fundraiser? Might I also add, you can actually generate thousands of dollars in donations through that, which no video that you're making is going to pull the kind of amounts that you could raise through YouTube fundraising. You get a couple $100 or whatever out your YouTube video and you raise it for charity, fine. Or you could raise thousands of dollars through the YouTube charity fundraising platform and allow your audience to actually directly donate money instead of just relying on and hoping that you're telling the truth. Oh, and don't get it twisted. It's more than likely that Jadyn has access to this feature, considering that it's given to creators who are monetized. It's been pretty widely rolled out, if not universally rolled out for monetized creators. And on top of that, Jadyn has hundreds of thousands of subscribers, meaning that there's a pretty good probability that YouTube would give them access to these kinds of features before smaller creators, which is something I will admit happens pretty often. So I really don't believe that this was about raising money for charity or anything like that. And so, they came at me with this tweet, they tried to make some false equivalences, they tried to twist shit around and paint things that I'm doing as the same thing, if not worse. But also taking a look at Jadyn's channel, many of the things that he's trying to call me out for are things that he's made videos about. For instance, Jadyn made 2 videos on Call Me Carson, who had allegations against them, in the last week. 4 weeks ago, they covered Ralzito, the Fortnite streamer who got caught and literally arrested for their relationships with minors. 2 months ago, they covered Drake Bell being arrested for, the same shit that I covered Drake Bell being arrested for. So if you're gonna try and call me out for doing this shit, doesn't it kind of not make sense for you to literally have videos on every single exact subject that I'm also talking about? Oh, and also, I have a screenshot of Jadyn's video that proves that there was no sort of YouTube fundraiser added to it. This is from shortly before I began recording this video, and yeah, as you can see, there's no YouTube fundraiser on it. So if one magically gets added to this video by circumstance on Jadyn's channel, it happened because I said something. But I can handle John Swan coming for me. That dude has had it out for me since I joined this community, but not Optimus, not someone I've looked up to for years. I can't handle this shit. None of this matters. What do you people want from me? I've tried all I can, it's never enough. So this tweet came out after I defended myself publicly from the bullshit that was basically thrown at me. And honestly, this tweet creeps me out a little bit because it's almost as if Jadyn kind of weirdly worships me or something. Like, I respond one time and say that I disagree with what this person has done, and next thing you know, I can't handle Optimus fucking saying anything about me, man. I've looked up to him for years. I just can't handle this shit. Nothing I do matters. What does everyone want from me? Nothing I do's enough. I've tried everything I can. Like, what, dude? I don't know what's going on, like what you think's happening. First and foremost, I don't fucking hate you, okay? This is the internet. We had a Twitter dispute, okay? I have no real, bad blood with you. Like, I don't wish you'd get fucking canceled and never be able to make another video. I just think that what you did in this instance was shitty. That's perfectly fine. There's no reason for it to be going the extent that it did, but it did anyway. And I guess in all reality, I'm glad that I influenced you or whatever, or that you've looked up to me. But honestly, man, I'm just a fucking guy talking on the internet, okay? I'm just sitting at a setup in a spare room in my house, just fucking off, okay? There's no reason to look up to me this deeply, okay? There's no reason to, have this level of, I don't even know for me. But anyway, moving forward, it basically just devolved to Jadyn being like, I don't know what I did wrong. Can you show me what I did wrong? I kept showing Jadyn what they did wrong. Hey, you shouldn't have fucking done this. This was wrong. You're going back on your word. You're openly admitting that you're lying about something here. You're acting as if, you're holding this solid stance that this is, milked content, but then you turn around and do the exact same thing. You somehow don't see the connection, right? Like, I'm just trying to explain this, right? And it's just not registering, and as it gets further and further, right, Jadyn just gets to a point of no return and just starts literally telling other YouTubers to fucking kill themselves. So I don't know if you guys know who Sensitive Society is. Sensitive Society is actually another pretty big commentator. Not sure exactly what sparked this entire thing, but Jadyn then resorted to telling them to kill themselves. And you can see that tweet here. It just says KYS to Sensitive Society and Sub to Michael. I believe Sub to Michael is another YouTuber. So it's to one of these two, but I'm going to assume based on the next tweet I'm about to show you, it was based against Sensitive Society. So Sensitive Society said, I feel awful for Sensitive Society, and Jadyn responds with, actually fucking kill yourself. It just was never this deep, man. Like, it should have never have got to this point. And within minutes, actually, Jadyn had their Twitter account suspended because of this. They were kicked off of the platform. Obviously, you cannot go around telling people to fucking kill themselves. And so, yeah, Jadyn told Sensitive Society to kill themselves. Twice, at least twice. Twice that I captured and saw screenshots of in the replies and things like that. By the way, shout out to the people who were trying their best to keep screenshots. Jadyn was deleting tweets left and right. It was a fucking nightmare to keep up with, man. Really should not have been this big of a situation. Like I said, I have no bad blood with Jadyn, but what happened, I just didn't agree with. And in all reality, it could have been left at like 1 or 2 tweets, but Jadyn kept digging the hole deeper and making bullshit points, and it resulted in people being told to kill themselves and Jadyn basically being kicked off Twitter. So, as far as I understand, as of the recording of this video at least, Jadyn has had both of their Twitter accounts suspended. I don't know if this is going to be like a permanent ban or what's going on here, but yeah, that's happened, and it's been a fucking mess, okay, to say the least. It's been a situation and a half, but all right, everybody, hold the phones. It turns out that pretty much while I was asleep, Jadyn worked on a big response video to this entire thing, all right, and decided to directly respond to me. And now I feel kind of obligated to respond because it's full of complete intentional misinterpretations of what happened, basically to shift the tides of what really went down. Jadyn shares screenshots of things that I said out of context in order to try and paint it out like he was being, mercilessly attacked or something on Twitter, and like he was being forced to defend himself lest he look like a fool, which doesn't really sit right with me considering this is actually the exact same way that he started beef with me over this whole thing in the first place, and what really kind of prompted the vast majority of this video to even be made in the first place. So 11 seconds into his video, providing no context at all about what he said, he shares this screenshot of me saying that he's a fraud and that I can't believe I ever respected him. And you'll notice that his tweet was of course magically deleted like pretty much everything else he said. So what he said of course isn't visible to his audience at all, which by the way is going to have crossover with my audience, meaning indirectly he's also lying to my fans. But it's only showing of course what I said, that looks of course bad out of context. Very, very convenient that it, makes me look like I'm blindly attacking him for the sake of attacking him, right? Regardless, let's go ahead and just start picking this video apart, man. So
to kind of explain what happened, yesterday I got up, there was no video topics, I had nothing to make a video on, and then sometime in the afternoon, Twitter is going crazy, it's freaking out, they say, oh my god, Technoblade has cancer. At first, I didn't think it was real, so I watched the video, and I was shocked. This was something that I honestly didn't expect, and at the time, there was a few people saying, don't make videos on this, do not make a video on this, do not profit on this, I can't believe people would profit off of something like this. So I kind of debated for a little while whether or not I was gonna make a video. At the end of the day, I had nothing else to make a video on. This was something that I was interested in and something that I wanted to talk about.
Yeah, you woke up and there wasn't any video topics to talk about. That's fine, man, okay? That happens to all of us. Trust me, this is a lot more common than you could really imagine if you're a viewer, okay? So what I do and what most people in the commentary community or really in the YouTube community will do on that day is we just don't make a video, okay? Or like in my situation, sometimes I'll upload like a story time or a rant about something. I won't just, talk about a topic. In August alone, I've already had 8 days of 28 now, where I didn't upload a video, okay? You don't force videos, okay? Especially about someone having cancer. I mean, I just as easily could have within 3 hours had a video out about the diagnosis, but that wasn't something I was comfortable with, okay? And to be honest, if Jadyn didn't create this whole big situation between us, I would have never even brought this into a video. Like, I would not be making a video talking about all this stuff. I would have just stayed with my tweet or two about wishing, Technoblade good health and better days ahead and just moved on.
People were making money off of it. So that's why I specifically said that I'm not going to be making money from this. In fact, I'm going to be giving away all the money this video makes to charity.
It doesn't matter if you say you're doing something or not. There's no proof that you ever intend to donate the ad revenue from your video besides taking your word for it and a screenshot of you donating $100. Which, as you openly admit, is not what the total ad revenue of that video is going to reach. So once again, you could have raised, $300, $400 from your video for cancer, or you could have used the built-in YouTube charity feature that you openly admit later in this that, you knew existed, and you could have raised potentially thousands, if not tens of thousands of dollars for charity with your audience. And considering this is the internet and we don't know you, this isn't the best look or the best idea. I mean, you have nearly 250,000 subscribers. You chose not to use the YouTube fundraising tool, and ignorance is not an excuse since, you watch me so often, I've been raising money for cancer specifically for months. And this is a feature that's been promoted by myself dozens of times across YouTube, Twitter, and videos themselves. I've literally made tutorials in videos and on Twitter for people to go and actually link charities onto their videos. So if you're such a fan of me or whatever like you claim, how come you didn't just follow these tutorials, which, by the way, have been posted multiple times?
People start calling me out saying, hey, this isn't the type of thing you should make a video on. Some people are saying, wow, you're a hypocrite because you cut out these channels, but then you do the same thing, which I did kind of mention that in my video. I have no problem with people talking about this.
All right, so just because you say that in a video, it doesn't give you some form of immunity from being criticized for it. So I guess it's okay for you to put Technoblade in the thumbnail, cancer in the thumbnail, Technoblade in the title, write a paragraph of buzzwords for metadata, the whole 9 yards for this video, and that's somehow not as bad as people doing the exact same thing but just stealing someone else's reaction to it. How aren't they basically the same? I mean, what because you gave your opinion on it and collected ad revenue that we're supposed to hope you donate to charity makes what you did better? It really just doesn't add up.
So I kind of just argued with people for a while. I said there was nothing wrong with what I did. No, I wasn't being a hypocrite because I literally said in my video the reason why I was mad at those channels. And then that's when you have John Swan getting involved. We had a couple arguments. I made some memes back at him because he was claiming he was just joking around, which is something the guy does often. He jokes around a lot.
Yeah, he was just joking with you. I mean, it's not that serious. It wasn't, at least, and if you had just apologized from the jump, this never would have happened, but it's incredible that you can be in the commentary community. You can lambaste anyone and everyone else for a video topic to get revenue, which, by the way, you openly admitted several times was the primary goal last night, so, but suddenly when the same hand of cards is played back at you, the commentary community criticizes you for the way you did this. You deactivate your Twitter profiles, you get yourself suspended because you're telling people to fucking kill themselves repeatedly, and then you're making a video misconstruing what happened, sharing screenshots of me out of context to try and make me look fucking bad. Okay.
And then that's when Optimus gets involved. His main points against me were that I monetized the video and I didn't make this a fundraiser video.
This is hilarious because this is another example of him sharing things out of context and trying to misconstrue what happened so that he can, make it look like he's being attacked when he wasn't. At this time, I wasn't even talking about Jadyn. I was speaking in general to the entire community. I mean, it's not like I'm only singling Jadyn out for this. I mean, other people did this shit. Other people are gonna do this shit. It's gonna happen. I'm gonna call it out, right? That's just who I am. I'm not here to fucking pick sides. I don't know you guys, bro, okay? I'm not your friends. I make some fucking YouTube videos. I go hang out in Discord with my friends. I make some funny tweets throughout the day. Otherwise, I'm doing something else, man. But this had nothing to do with Jadyn whatsoever, and in fact, Jadyn knows this because they commented under the tweet, which by the way is now deleted. They deleted their comment under this tweet, and directly addressed the fact that at the time, I didn't even know they were making a video, like I responded to them. So what Jadyn just did was intentionally, once again, misconstrued something from Twitter to make it look like I was subtweeting them, shading them. And I was just blindly attacking them once again, when as you can see, this was cleared up 2 full hours before I even said anything to Jadyn about what happened with their video. So Jadyn, why would you do this, okay? You supposedly respect me so highly, you've watched me for years and all this shit, but the moment you have an issue with me, suddenly that's out the window and you post what I say out of context. Like, what the fuck, dude?
Apparently, YouTube has this feature where you can actually raise funds for charity through your video. I had seen it on some of his videos, but I didn't know that this was a feature that I had access to, and if I had known, I probably would have used it.
Alright, I simply just don't believe this one whatsoever. I'm gonna go ahead and show you how easy it is to find this feature in the YouTube dashboard, and remember, Jadyn speaks about their YouTube career as being all they have. They gotta please the algorithm. They're working on YouTube all the time. All they do is grind YouTube. But apparently, this here was just way too hard to do for them, you know? Couldn't figure this one out, you know? 2 clicks in the dashboard on one of the main features of the website, and you see if you have it, but just couldn't have been fucked. Even though Jadyn knew the feature existed, right? It just couldn't happen.
The next point that he had against me is that my description was spammed with keywords. If you notice in my descriptions, I'll put things like Technoblade said this, Technoblade did this, Technoblade Twitter, something like that. And there's a method behind the madness of my descriptions. They're not just random jarbled nonsense. How YouTube and the algorithm works is if you have keywords in your title, then your video will rank higher in search. So for example, if you put dream a bunch of times in your description, then most likely your video will rank if you search dream. And I've been doing this with all of my descriptions for the last year pretty much, ever since I heard about this, which I'll give that point to Optimus. That was a pretty valid point, and I completely understand where he's coming from. But to me, I wasn't sitting there being like, oh man, I'm gonna get so many views if I put Technoblade. For me, it was just like, I'm writing a description. This is how I write all of my descriptions. It was pretty much just muscle memory for me at this point.
This point is hilarious because Jadyn talks about it as if it's some sort of necessity to get views on YouTube, but notice how I don't do this, okay? If anything, I'll put maybe 1 or 2 sentences, oftentimes without really any form of metadata at all, about the video to give a general synopsis, and I'm probably going to hit 10 million views in August. I didn't employ this technique whatsoever, so no, it's not a necessity. This isn't something that needed to be done, especially on a video about a man getting cancer. It just didn't need to happen.
Now, another thing he had a problem with was the title and the thumbnail. He pretty much said that these were clickbait, and to an extent, I guess maybe it was, but at the same time, I purposely tried to avoid putting certain things in the title and thumbnail. The least clickbait title that I could have used in this situation was Technoblade has cancer. That could have been the title, and I just thought that that would look worse. I didn't want to put cancer in the title. I just thought that was wrong, although I did put it in the thumbnail, and when I was making that thumbnail, I was like, should I put this in the thumbnail? I mean, it's not clickbait, it's true, but I didn't want to have that in my title.
It's hilarious how within the same breath you invalidated your own point here. I mean, you begin by admitting, you know, you learned about this metadata spam, which I believe is actually against the terms of service, as a way to get your videos to perform better in the algorithm, right? You know, to get yourself at the top of the search results and to get suggested more and whatnot. But then you immediately turn and say, oh, that's not why I did it this time, guys. Believe me, I only did it because I forgot not to. My YouTuber reflexes just didn't kick off, man. I would have believed that if it came down to, you know, accidentally leaving in like a template description, which automatically happens on YouTube. I would have believed that because honestly, I can understand that. But no, you typed this shit out, you pressed enter, saved it, and allowed that to stay for hours. That was not a fucking accident, okay? It wasn't. You're only saying this now because you don't want this to continue being a talking point against you.
Now, as me and Optimus were arguing, I started to bring up some of the videos that he's made because he's made videos on killers. I've done the same. So to me, I was kind of like saying, why can you make a video on this, monetize it, have a kind of clickbait title and thumbnail, but I can't do the same? What's the difference? And I guess the difference was just time. He waited to make his video when I pretty much just made my video immediately, which to be honest, I probably should have waited, but I wasn't really thinking about that.
What's funny how you pretend you couldn't have made a better title considering Technoblade, you know, wasn't in my title at all, has nothing to do with that. Wasn't in the thumbnail of this video either, if you didn't notice. Wasn't in the description, and actually, if you can check, wasn't even in the tags for this video. This video still isn't monetized, and it's raising money for charity. This video is still gonna do fine. And honestly, if this video got 10,000 views in the first day, I really wouldn't give a shit, okay? But if performance is what really matters, I'm actively disproving your point with my video. No, man, that was not the only point, okay? You took a cancer diagnosis and had a video hours out, you know, from all this. After you had shit on other channels for milking the situation, you turned and did the same thing that a lot of these other channels did. That was the main point. If you're gonna milk a topic for views, fucking own it, okay? Don't try and play both sides.
To me, this was just another daily video about something I wanted to talk about. It was just another trending thing in the Minecraft community. It was not my intentions at all to benefit from Technoblade's situation. I just wanted to get another video out.
Oh, it wasn't my intention to benefit, guys. You know, I would never try to benefit on something like this. Says the guy who spammed the whole video full of metadata to get their video promoted about a cancer diagnosis right after it happened and right after they shit on other people for doing it. It was absolutely your intention, okay? And you actually really proved that when you came to Twitter and shared these screenshots where you flexed the fact that it was your best performing video of your last 10, and you flexed that it had thousands of likes, which, pathetically enough, also included yourself. But remember, right? Haters just gonna hate. It wasn't my intention to benefit haters gonna hate. Look how great my 1 out of 10 videos doing. Fuck you guys. This is so great. You know, I'm making so much money off this one, man. I'm getting so many clicks.
A few months ago, we had a falling out. For some reason, the dude just stopped liking me. So I just see him replying to the tweets, just like hyping people up, supporting what they're saying, and I tell him to end his life, which is something I've done a couple times, and I'll admit that was wrong. But yeah, that ended up getting my Twitter account suspended, which is probably a good thing because I have a Twitter addiction. I'm on Twitter all day, pretty much every day. And what people don't understand about Twitter is it's not the same as YouTube or Discord or real life. Twitter, you're meant to be toxic. When people have different opinions, they don't just say, okay, they fight. They fight and they force other people to share their opinion. That's basically the goal of Twitter. You're trying to convince people to believe what you believe, and nobody ever backs down. If you back down, well, you're cringe. You're a loser. So with that mindset, it can kind of explain why I continue to just fight with people, because I'm trying to convince them, hey, I'm not the idiot here. The other guy is. I didn't do anything wrong. I'm not a hypocrite. That guy's the hypocrite.
Twitter can be whatever you really want it to be. I mean, yeah, it is toxic. I'll give you that sometimes. But if you really want to contribute to the toxicity, that's cool. I don't care. But, you know, probably half of my tweets are just about rap music and Kanye West and other artists and shit. You're making it out like you get on Twitter and you just gotta fight. Like, there's nothing else. If you're not fighting with another creator and making bullshit points, you're not using Twitter properly. I mean, you can't sit here and defend telling someone to fucking kill themselves multiple times, lying about shit that I said to make yourself a victim, and painting a situation as something it's not as, oh, well, you know, that's just how Twitter is, man. Also, you go on to say that people who back down on Twitter are cringe and losers and whatnot. But isn't it kind of a cringe mentality to assume that quote-unquote backing down on Twitter makes you a fucking chump? Like, dude, we are talking about social media. It is pixels on a screen. You allowed this shit to cause a mental breakdown for you. You know what I'm saying? Which, you know, I'm not going to sit here and shit on you for that because it's honestly sad, but the reality is you need to take a fucking step back. You need to spend less time on YouTube and on Twitter trying to get a video out every day and spend more time doing something else, because this shit is, it's getting to the point where it's rotting your brain, dude. This just isn't fucking right, man. So this is a segment of the video I also never thought I was really going to have to make, but I don't know if this was really common knowledge before me and Tipster both put it out. I actually tried to reach out to Jadyn before any videos were made on one another to try and, I guess, squash everything that happened on Twitter. I had heard from Tipster. If you don't know who Tipster is, he's another commentary YouTuber. Tipster had come to me and told me that, you know, Jadyn was very emotional on Discord and had a pretty big issue with what unfolded on Twitter, and I thought I was pretty understanding. I'm gonna go ahead and show the DMs and everything of all of this. I directly tried to reach out to Jadyn through Tipster. I don't really have, you know, personal connections with Jadyn. As far as I know, I don't have this person on Discord. I don't have, at least at the time, you know, both of their Twitter accounts were suspended or deactivated or whatever happened. It appears that at least one of them is back now, but there was no real way for me to reach out to Jadyn. Hi, kitty. I'm sorry. The cat just literally jumped right in front of the mic. But anyway, so of course through Tipster, I tried to reach out to Jadyn to clear everything up because honestly, this wasn't that big of a deal. At this point, like, it could have just been left to Twitter. It could have just been over with, but no. As I'm gonna show you in this screenshot here, I tried my best to get everything settled with Jadyn, and Jadyn is making it out as if I did not reach out and is trying to make this point that, like, you know, I didn't try to help. That isn't the case at all. Me and Tipster actually were both very concerned about Jadyn's mental health, because obviously this was a mental breakdown. This should have never have happened. But of course, this is getting pinned back on me like I'm some heartless piece of shit who just simply didn't care, when that's not the case at all. And then of course, Jadyn dug themselves an even bigger hole, really, in all of this, when they just recently tweeted as I'm making this video, "This guy's a complete snake. I don't regret anything I said to him," basically referring to the fact that Jadyn doesn't feel bad for telling sensitive society to kill themselves. But hey, wait, don't you guys remember something? Hang on, let's replay that video real quick.
I tell him to end his life, which is something I've done a couple times, and I'll admit that was wrong. I'll admit that was wrong.
Oh, you know, I shouldn't have said that. That was wrong of me. You know, I shouldn't have, you know, told somebody to fucking kill themselves. Oh, but you know, hey, now that Optimus is making a video on me and, you know, he's not forgetting what I said, fuck it, I don't regret what I said. He deserved it. He had it coming to him. He's a snake, right? That's pretty funny, Jadyn, because all you're doing now is proving my point even fucking harder. All you care about is getting a quick vid out, getting some clicks, and that's it. That's the only thing you give a shit about. There's no morality to you as anything here, as your persona online, nothing. If you can fucking, you know, beat somebody else down and tell them to fucking kill themselves because you don't like what they said about you online, you know, that's fine, because, you know, you can apologize for it in a video tomorrow. Oh, but now that Optimus is making a video on you, fuck it. It's mask off now, right? Jadyn then leaked these DMs of them and Tipster, where they basically openly admit that Jadyn turned down talking to me directly because, quote unquote, Jadyn wasn't in the right state right now, okay? I could have understood that if a video didn't get uploaded merely hours later, with my logo in the thumbnail and my name in the description and my name repeatedly brought up in the video, where you're basically fucking misconstruing the truth of what happened in the situation to make me look bad for what happened. Because I was never, you know, this could have not even been a video. Like, if we could have worked this out in private, this would not even be a video uploaded on my channel right now, and this wouldn't even be an issue. But you turned down talking to me directly so you could shit out a fucking quick video, and you completely stoked the flames 10 times more. Like, this went from a simple fire pit backyard barbecue to a fucking wildfire because of that video. And because you turned down solving the issue with me because you weren't in the right state. Let me ask you this. You weren't in the right state to talk to me on Discord peacefully and resolve the issue, but you were in the right state to make a fucking, you know, 4-hour marathon to run this video out real quick? You were in the right state to, you know, make a fucking video to me where you quote unquote apologize, aka you shove all accountability out of the way, make it out like you did nothing wrong, and paint me as the bad guy in the situation. But you know, you weren't in the mental state to just talk this out with me. Oh, okay. But it's all right. Tipster kind of exposed the real reason that this all happened, okay? The real reason why Jadyn has my name in their mouth so fucking deep. Why Jadyn has, you know, been dodging everything that happened. Last night, you were so worried that @SubToOptimus was gonna do a video on you, and now you just gave them a reason to, when you literally could have just settled this feud last night. I tried to help you, Jalen/Jadyn, but you can't help those who don't want it. And then, of course, Tipster, who, by the way, I just want to give a shout out to Tipster here. Tipster is a genuinely good person. I've never, in a million years, expected to meet somebody so actually kind-hearted and down-to-earth. Tipster is one of the best people that I've had the pleasure of running into online. I'm not just saying that because, you know, he's helping kind of defend my name in this situation. I have been cool with Tipster for a long time. He unironically gets a lot of shit that he does not deserve on the internet from people. He is honestly a nice person, and he really does like to resolve these kinds of issues because that's the person he is. So I do want to give a massive shout out to Tipster for all of the help and for just genuinely being a good person. Do you need to talk? I'm here if you need me. It's too late. It's all over. Optimus is coming for me. I tried to stop you. It's fine, I just need to ignore it and continue uploading. So first and foremost, it's too late. It's all over. Optimus is coming for me. What the fuck kind of statement is that, bro? This motherfucker is talking about me like I'm the Gestapo, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm the fucking secret police. I'm making a fucking YouTube video, my man. It is a YouTube video. In all reality, I don't even think this is gonna destroy your career. Would I be totally surprised if your credibility was ruined after this? Not really. But this is a fucking YouTube beef. You know what I'm saying, man? Like, come on, it's all late. The Optimus is coming for you. That sounds like some shit that a criminal says when the police are closing in on the fucking criminal hideout, bro. Like, come on, man. It cannot be this genuinely deep to you. I don't know. Anyway, it's fine. I need to just ignore it and continue uploading. Yeah, you sure did that when you uploaded this video full of bullshit to your channel. So all of this really happened, okay? Not, you know, to defend themselves, not to apologize, not to make this situation right, not to, you know, save face, but so I would not make a fucking video on them. Well, guess what, Jadyn? You got exactly what you asked for, okay? This video is not coming down, okay? And I'm gonna tell my side of this, because you're not gonna sit here and bullshit on a video like this to both of our audiences, by the way, considering, yeah, there is going to be crossover in this. And if you're a fan of both of us, I don't care if you're a fan of Jadyn, man. You don't have to unsubscribe from him. You don't have to unsubscribe from me. I'm not asking you to pick sides. In reality, you're not involved in this situation, man. You continue to enjoy YouTube as you please, but dude, you're not going to come at me like this and expect for me to just shut the fuck up. It's not going down. It's a shitty situation, and honestly, I wish Technoblade obviously the best in this whole thing. Cancer is not something to take lightly. It's very serious, and I didn't even want to really talk about that. If there was a way for me to kind of talk about this situation and it not be brought up, I would have definitely done that, but I definitely encourage you guys to please donate to the charity that I've listed alongside this video. Unlike what Jadyn did, the money never touches my hands. It's completely processed by YouTube/Google and the charities that I guess it's being worked with and everything. You don't have to worry about me keeping the ad revenue or running off with your money or anything. It just goes directly through it, no problem whatsoever. I'm more or less just the middleman and everything. But with that being said, this is pretty much just Optimus covering this situation and signing out. I really don't have anything else to say, so